Here in the United States, the Republican National Committee is building up its arsenal against Democratic presidential candidate Hillary Clinton. According to a new report in the Daily Beast, one lone staffer is now charged with combing through the archives at the Clinton Presidential Library in Little Rock, Arkansas, looking for any contradictions or embarrassments from the candidate's past. It's a rather tedious task. Out of roughly 750 boxes, the RNC staffer is only allowed to go through one box at a time. From that one box, he's only allowed to look at one folder at a time, and from that folder, he's only allowed to look at one page at a time. All of his activity is monitored by a library staffer as well as closed-circuit cameras. Jackie Kucinich is the senior politics editor for the Daily Beast. She's here with me right now. She wrote this article. Jackie, thanks very much for coming in.
Thanks for having me.
How'd you get this idea to go down? You actually went down to Little Rock and watched what was going on.
Well, I was actually curious how they were digging up all this dirt on Hillary Clinton, because you get everybody who's in politics gets the emails, you see some of the stuff that they pulled, and I was just kind of curious who they had stationed there to go pouring through the research. And so I went down there and I followed the staffer around for a couple days and just got to see how he did his work. And it is a very tedious process. The National Archives and the library have some very strict rules, and he was always very careful about following them and explained them to me so I didn't run afoul of the rules when I was there. And it really is, but he's going through box. He wants to go through all 750 very deliberately to find anything from Hillary Clinton's days as First Lady that they might be able to use against her in this campaign.
It's called opposition research.
Indeed.
All campaigns, almost all campaigns, I should say, do that. I got a statement from the RNC. We found a lot of useful stuff. We know what we're looking for and who we are looking at. It's a piece of the larger engine. When they say useful stuff, what does that mean specifically?
So
is there like something that has already been released, or are they holding it to see what happens down the road?
It's a little bit of both. He's found things that have turned around and become press releases, become attacks. It depends on what's in the news. When I was there, he found an old statement by Hillary Clinton that was an interview from back in her days as First Lady. That's something you couldn't find on Nexus. That looked like she was contradicting some of the remarks she's currently made on immigration. He sends that off to the RNC, and they haven't used it yet. So we'll see when they use it. They flag it to the necessary teams. This is a huge operation, and he is just a part of it. And so whether they use it, it's really up to them, obviously, whether they use it right away or whether they hold it for the general election.
We didn't get a statement from the Clinton campaign. We did get one from a pro-Clinton group saying this: if Republicans think their time is best spent rehashing the false attacks their own party planted in the age of MC Hammer, instead of, say, improving the GOP's extreme positions, their priorities are misplaced. But every presidential candidate should assume that whether the same party or the opposite party, people are going through almost everything they did in their public life.
Well, one of the most interesting things about this is the RNC, this effort was born out of what American Bridge did when Mitt Romney was running.
Which is a pro-democratic.
Yes, it was a pro-democratic super PAC. And what they did was they had a folder or a pile on Mitt Romney's record before he was even the Republican nominee. So every attack that they had came quickly, it came fast, and they really whittled away at his record. And so as a result, they've set up this massive effort to do basically the same thing to Hillary Clinton.
And I assume that Republicans, Jeb Bush's campaign, other campaigns, the super PACs that support them, they're going all of Donald Trump's record right now, because he's emerged, as we all know, as the clear Republican frontrunner right now.
You'd have to imagine, but there has been a hesitance to attack Donald Trump, run ads against him, even from super PACs, because you don't know if it's going to come back at you if you're that candidate. Because all the other attacks so far, it hasn't dinged him. He's been sort of Teflon in a way. So we'll have to watch and see when they actually start using any research that they've done, and just how they go about it so they don't end up hurt.
Well, what they usually do, if it's really, really sensitive, they leak it to a news organization, and they try to make sure that their fingerprints are not seen on that. The news organization checks it out, and if it's true, they report it. And
right.
At least in the past, that's what's often been done. Jackie, good work.
Thank you very much.
Jackie Kucinich of the Daily Beast reporting.